I'm in Liverpool to meet Stephen French, a notorious gangster from Liverpool who specialised in the perfect crime, robbing drug dealers, known in the underworld as taxation. In the 80s, these streets used to belong to Stephen French. Now, it's one of the most deprived ghettos in the UK, and Stephen is still widely recognised by the locals. In November 2007, he was visiting a friend when he was targeted by a hit squad and chased into the park.
I took off like Kip Kano, got into the park, right? And I see them close to the trees, I'm there, but then they've come. This is how I know that they were fucking serious individuals, Dan. They turned the lights on into the park, and then one of them's got out, and he's obviously got a handgun. The other one, but he's got a long coat on, right? And I've seen him flick his coat, so I know he's got a shotty, yeah? I'm thinking, fuck me, I've got none. And there's a pond over there.
Yeah.
So I've got into the pond. The water's up to there, so you can't see me legs. I've got a 3/4 length coat on, I put it over me, and I'm lying by the rocks. See, I'm right in front of you, but you can't see me. Fucking wicked. Subterfuge and misdirection, right? Two of my oldest friends. And I'm looking through the buttonhole on my coat, and I could see them, right? And I had apprehension, but not fear. And it's a Japanese thing. I've got my phone. I'm hiding the lights on my phone, and I'm saying to the but audio up, just sound your fucking siren. Just sound your siren.
Yeah.
That'll be enough.
That's enough, innit?
Yeah. And then I've come out to the pond. I'm wet up to there. Right? And then they've gone, on the fucking floor now, on the floor now. I said, I'm getting on the floor for nobody. My name's Stephen French. I phoned you, I'm not armed, and I'm not getting on the floor. On the floor. I said, I'm not getting down. I'm not getting on the fucking floor. Come and say it to me, I'm not getting on the floor. I survived that attempt. I've survived over 6 or 7 attempts on my life, but they was there to fucking whack me proper.
Yeah.
I had no idea that taking a stroll in the park with Stephen would be so dangerous. French wanted to show me where the front line of the riots were on Upper Parliament Street, but he was feeling uneasy about all the attention we were getting.
The camera draws attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, user professionals, don't want to get you drawn into my shit, so we'll be quick, in and out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Good boy.
All right.
Good man, okay.
After only a few minutes, French pulls the plug. He feels that he's putting himself and me in unnecessary danger. Stephen had agreed to give me a unique insight into his past as an underworld taxman. Now I was on my way to meet him in a secret location in the suburbs. I didn't know it yet, but I was only minutes away from one of the maddest experiences of my life.
I've asked Danny Dyer to meet me here this afternoon, right, with a view to showing him a taxation scenario. These are the things that are actually going on today. They're quite horrific and scary, but this is the insight that I want the viewer to have, and those of the squeamish should look away.
This is the first time a real-life taxation scenario has ever been shown on TV. Stephen was taking a big risk by opening up this side to me, but I got the feeling he was on his own journey to atone for some of the things that happened in the past.
This guy is known as the Taxman. His nickname was the Devil, and there was a reason for that, in the fact that, he used to rob drug dealers, and he used to, torture them. I don't know what he used to do to them, but, I need to get a sense of that. Obviously not too much, you know what I mean?
It's time to get into character. It's time for the switch to be flipped. I don't want to scare the guy. I don't want to glamorize the taxation, but I want to show the nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts of what actually used to take place.
Here we go. Bit of taxation. Right, let's have it. So the door's already open, so it's like, okay, sweet, let's go in. Straight away,
with that hand, yeah. Even if you want to start struggling, right? If I put it on you now, Dan, you're gone. I'm only holding you, yeah. Right? But it would be. Yeah?
Straight
lifted.
away.
You're going to be awake for about 3 seconds. You lifted, you put down in a chair, right? And then the individual, the people that had him, would secure him in the chair. Yeah? Hands and feet to secure him in the chair, yeah? Keep him quiet, but they leave his eyes open. I've had some geezers, and they started to mouth off. blah, 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 who do you think you are, blah, 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 blah. And I just jammed their eye. You get me? Just jammed their eye. And just, you know, give them some sharp pain, right? And say to them, well, you know, shut up, because next time your eye will come out. Next time I'll pop your eye out. If you want to come out to the sunscape, behave yourself, be respectful. The individual that now had you would be dressed in head to toe in black. They'd have a black balaclava and black gloves on, right? And you wouldn't be able to see who they were. They'd have a really large kitchen knife, yeah? And the first thing to do would walk over to you and they'd show you the knife and put the knife down, yeah? And then the rhetoric possibly would go something like this. I fucking hate drug dealers. I fucking hate people that sell drugs to children and they ruin communities. But I fucking love money. I'm here to relieve you of your cash. If you don't give me your cash, really horrible, nasty things are going to happen to you. But it's all a matter for you. I don't want to have to harm you. I don't want to have to hurt you. But you're poisoning communities. You're killing people. And you're getting fat and rich off it. And that disgusts me. You disgust me. So it's a matter for you. I've got a phone here. Fresh, clean phone, never been used. You're gonna call your stash minder, whether it's your fucking granny, your ma, your bird, your best pal, and you're gonna make it good. And you're gonna tell them, in about an hour, someone's coming to pick up the money. You're gonna have to act like you've never fucking acted before. And if you use any codes, like I know you're referred to as Danny, if you say something like it's Daniel on the phone, I know you're using a code. Don't fucking try any of that shit, because I've been here before. I'm a professional. This is what I do. And this is how the individual will be made to feel. You'll be overwhelmed psychologically. And if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen to you.
Stephen's told us not to broadcast what he's whispering in my ear. It's too upsetting. But I can tell you, it's not something I'll forget.
It's up to you. Something along those lines, Dan, yeah?
Well, I'd pull up the dough immediately. I'd pull up the dough, man. I'd just think...
To my shame, and to my embarrassment, it's stripping them of the dignity. I've had a 17-stone fucking bodybuilder come in and shit his kecks. You get me? Proper mess his trousers. Piss himself because they don't know what's going to happen. And this is why taxation is such a nasty, evil activity. I regret it 100%. And one of the reasons why I'm speaking about it now, I'm being quite graphic about it, is to bring it to the wider public of what it's all about.
Yeah, I've just got a sense of what that could be like, and I just think that...
you know, if it's done correctly, nobody gets hurt physically. But I actually believe, in retrospect, the emotional and mental damage that it can cause to an individual leaves me ashamed.
I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for a smack dealer, do you know what I mean? But you would think, you know, that is the worst case scenario. I don't see how you come back from that. I can't really understand how anyone wouldn't pull up the dough or wouldn't do as they're told, do you know what I mean? That's freaked me out a little bit. That's done me. I feel a bit sick. I feel like I'm gonna chuck my breakfast up.
Stephen's enemies have gone to great lengths to assassinate his character, even tagging the walls with graffiti, accusing him of being a police informer.
Being called the grass is like someone calling you a paedophile. And then once that label's put on you, you're fair game to be shot.
This home footage shows just what he thinks of the person responsible.
A little skulking little bitch that runs around in the evening painting shit on the wall about a man that he's so jealous of, so envious of. The greenness is oozing out of you.
The bitterness against Stephen and his family runs deep with the new generation in Toxteth. I wanted to track down who these kids were that now control the streets and find out for myself what they think of Stephen. A gang of them agreed to speak, provided their identities were hidden.
I heard he could be age of the week right there where we're standing now. And he got shot at him now, so you tell me if he come through here again, I don't know what would happen. He might have been feared back in the day, but obviously it's 2008 and things have changed and he's not feared no more. Stephen French is a grass. He's a pussy.
These kids were hiding behind their masks, but Stephen still has to take their threat seriously. Today, Stephen has been invited to speak to a delegation of high-profile criminologists and academics to help spread his anti-gun message. In his friend's memory, he plans to open the Andrew John Memorial Skills Centre to prevent teenagers from following in his footsteps.
Will it be a happy ending or one to regret? Success, prison or death, I need to watch how
It's a humbling and a liberating experience to be invited to speak here today.
He hopes the speech will help raise funding for the Skills Centre.
I have to bear responsibility and culpability in the rise of the phenomenon known as gun crime. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds of prime black male. And how could a 10-stone drug dealer protect himself from a guy like me, former British, European and world kickboxing champion? How he did it is he armed himself. 1994, my daughter was born and I had an epiphany. I knew I had to turn my life around. My options were success, death, or jail. Me personally, I want to show them the way to success. I want to show them the road to success. Success as a bricklayer, success as a plumber, success as a carpenter. All areas of success that don't lead to jail or death and don't lead to a life of drugs or pistolero. This is done to shock and horrify, yeah? This is a t-shirt that several young men had made that have made an attempt on my life because I'm standing up to be counted and giving an anti-gun message. R.I.P. Stephen French. Such is my determination, I've changed R.I.P. to really increase the peace. Thank you very much for this time and effort.
In today's gang wars, the rules of engagement have changed radically since Stephen's day. I've learnt that teenage gangs fear no one, and they'll shoot you to prove it. Stephen is nearly 50 years old, but he's lost none of his will to fight. He's going to the ultimate lengths to battle gun crime by putting his own life on the line. I'm just glad I met Stephen now, and not in his day. I'm on my way to meet one of the hardest military men that has ever had the pleasure to serve under Her Majesty. He goes by the name of Spud.
I'm not quite sure what to expect from him or what I'm doing out here. I've been in this car for 3 fucking hours and I don't know where I'm being taken or what the fuck he wants me to do when I get there.
I have reason to worry. Spud could be the toughest geezer I'll ever meet.
I don't have any problems. I don't do any cock stands about killing somebody. All right, let's be clear about that.
Look, I'm going to be straight with you now. I've had a bit of a late one. I feel a bit ropey. So, you know, I hope he just takes it nice and easy on me because I'm really not up to much.
Turning up with a hangover for a date with an elite soldier may turn out to be the stupidest thing I'll ever do.
Yeah? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Beautiful countryside. Lovely old manor house. Let's see what this geezer's got to say, eh?
Hi.
Hello,
Danny.
mate.
How you doing, mate?
Spud? No?
Yes, mate, Spud.
Danny.
How you doing, mate? Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you,
Yeah.
mate. Pleasure
How
to
you doing,
meet
all right?
you.
You
Good
good?
as gold, mate, yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Come on, move it! Go!
Spud's agreed to give me some specialist military training here at this top secret facility. But to be honest, I was really worried about what that might involve. At the moment, it's all on a need-to-know basis, and if the way we met is anything to go by, I'm going to be the last to know anything.
weapon store, yeah?
That's some proper weapons here, isn't it?
Yeah. They're from all over the world.
Got the big old guns here. What's this one over here?
This is the 7.62 SLR. She is beautiful. And this is one we went down the Falklands with.
Yeah.
And this was, I suppose, one of the main reasons why we won the battle down there, along with this 7.62 GPMG, which the British Army still use today.
It's a monster, that.
General purpose machine gun, like I said, 7.62. It is a beauty. You feel how heavy that is?
God, gets hold of that, look.
Yeah.
Running along with that.
Plus, if you had a length of 200 with the ammunition strapped to it as well.
God, that's proper heavy, that is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is the first weapon I killed a man with.
When you first killed a man, that was the gun
This
you
is the
used,
one,
yeah?
Yeah.
As that, this might be it's a mad question to ask you, but I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, how did that feel when you first killed someone?
At the time, because I was like 20, 21, it's a cliched expression, but it's true. It's what you're trained to do. I don't have nightmares. I've killed a few people, men. I think any women.
No.
No. Certainly not children.
Let's say you can really prepare yourself, do all the training you want, can't you? But once you actually...
Yeah, I know it affects a lot of guys. Set something off in their brain, they go, oh, fuck me, this is not for me.
I suppose it goes two ways. Either you go like that, it's not for
Yeah.
you, or you get a right adrenaline rush out of it, you know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
do. I mean, you do. You actually get a right buzz out of it, and
Yeah.
it's very hard to come down. I mean, I've been doing this almost 30 years now.
I'd read in one of Spud's books gruesome tales about the brutality of war. One in particular that I couldn't get out of my mind was when he had to use his head as a lethal weapon.
You know, it's quite an heavy thing to talk about, you know what I mean? And this whole thing for me is an intense thing. I wanted you to try and tell me a little bit about when you had a moment in a trench with somebody, when you headbutted them, when you had your helmet on.
Yeah. Well, that's an intense, personal, one-to-one conflict with the enemy.
Yeah.
You don't think about it at the time. You just get on and do it. I haven't really reflected on that story too much.
No?
No, because I think if I did, it might send me a bit fucking mad.
Okay.
You know?
He wants me to know what it feels like to be a soldier, so it's time to dress the part.
SAS styling, running about, who'd have thought this?
Now, this gear may look good, but it's proper heavy.
Get on that, look.
Yeah. This is level 4. This is stop high velocity. You've got your grenades in here, your flashbangs, your CS gas, spare ammunition. You might have a Mars bar in there for after the job.
Yeah,
you know.
little Mars bar, treat yourself up, you wind out loads of geezers. Yeah, love it, love it.
Yeah. You got him. Breathe in.
Yeah, fuck me, yeah.
How does that feel now?
Fucking horrible.
Is that good?
Well.
That's the way it should be.
Well, yeah.
And I want you to shout in there, gas, 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 but shout it.
Gas, gas, gas!
No, I mean it. Gas, gas, gas!
Gas, gas, gas!
And then the helmet.
Let's have the helmet there.
Okay? But
Okay.
how does it feel at the moment?
I'm all right for the minute, but I can see...
To tell the truth, I was starting to feel a bit claustrophobic.
Just of having this thing on, mate, it's been
it's
so much
yeah.
difficult. You can't... You've got no sense
You've
enough.
got to double-check everything when you've got that kit on. Double-check everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Lovely jubbly. Let's go and have it then, Spud.
All right, then.
What are we going to do next?
Let's go and kill something.
Come on, let's have it.
Come on! Come on! Magazine! Magazine!
I'm not off to a good start. My gun has split in two and Spud's not happy.
Put it back on again. Put it on. Clean it off, get that shit out of it. Let's go, let's go! Come on, yeah, over the top. That's it, wait for Danny.
All this gear weighs nearly a stone. The vest is designed to stop knives, shrapnel, pistols, rifles and machine gun fire and anything else you can throw at it.
Come on, Danny, come on, that's it, mate. Over here. Now sprint. Through here, come on. In here, up the stairs. Come on, upstairs. Let's go.
Can't breathe.
You can't breathe. Don't take it off. Don't take your mask off. Keep it there.
That's fucking hard, mate.
Don't, Danny.
Hold on.
Don't take it off, all right?
I'm going to spew me fucking ring up. That's really tough, man. I'll tell you what. I've just done fucking...
That's nothing.
Running about for 30 seconds. And the whole weight of the gas mask. Tell you what, boys. It's made me feel proper sick.
Yeah.
The thought of having to go into battle after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's superhuman people.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta be stuck for 30 minutes.
I'm not quite sure I'd cut it as a soldier. Spud, on the other hand, excelled as a paratrooper and always had more brains and ambition than the average grunt. Gas-filled grenades are an occupational hazard on military operations. And because I'd ripped off my gas mask earlier, Spud wants to give me a little taste of what this CS gas can do to you.
Any good? This geezer is absolutely insane. He's sniffing CS gas, and he wants me to have an experience of it. I'm willing to get my hands dirty. Like I said before, you know, I want to be a man's man, so let's do it.
You let me know when you feel the effects of it.
Yeah.
Got him? You want any more, Danny?
Fuck that. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Do apologise to all my to my lady fans out there. If I broke the myth here, I apologise.
All right, guys, quick, listening. Briefing room now. Job on.
It's not quite on the same scale as the Iranian embassy, but one of my men has been captured by the enemy.
You know the score. We got a suspect terrorist holding a definite hostage. Not more than 50 metres from here. Mission is to save the life of the hostage. What's the mission, Danny?
Save the life of the hostage.
All right, mate.
This may only be a practice run, but my nerves are very real. Everything Spud taught me is racing through my mind.
Take your fucking gun, Danny.
No, I'll leave it there.
Danny, no.
I'm gonna. All right.
Should we want to do this thing to Stop it!
Breathe all right?
Yeah.
My job as team leader is to throw a grenade and then secure the room. I was about to receive a brutal lesson in the reality of being a soldier.
What happened there?
He shot me.
Who said room clear?
Me. I shot him.
Was the room clear?
No, but I shot him.
Did you check him?
I didn't check him, no.
No.
I fucking put about 5 bullets in
Did
there.
you? Yeah, well, don't fucking matter. You've got to check him.
He's a strong
Okay?
man.
Yeah, what you've got to do is double tap him in the head.
So we've just been bump, bump.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Fuck.
Always confirm he's dead. All right? I don't care if it's a woman or a kid with a gun. If they're after you to kill you, they kill you. You make sure they're dead before you scream room clear.
Okay.
All right?
Freaked me out, mate, I tell
Yeah.
you. It's intense, it's intense stuff, mate. The adrenaline pumping through my body like you wouldn't believe.
Oh,
well, you know the
imagine,
game.
yeah.
You know your game, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
I got shot though, I fucked it. I didn't put 2 in his fucking canister, did I? I should have popped 2 off in his nut, but I've called room clear. There's so much to think about, it's unbelievable. You know what it's been around these boys? It's mad when you run around talking to villains, gangsters, this, that and the other, about bravado. With these boys really aren't a real deal. I'm not undermining anyone I've interviewed in the past, but these boys are just solid, you know, just men's men. They will kill people, put 2 shots in your head, won't think twice about it. So, you know, you try and be, you know, you try and have a bit of bollocks around them. But I'll tell you what, fucking, my back's killing me. I've only had the fucking gear on for a few hours. I feel fucking terrible. I feel like sobbing me heart out, that's the honest truth. The adrenaline's pumping through my body.
A tradition of many soldiers is that they keep the pin to the first grenade they pull. So I was touched when Spud had a little surprise for me.
What's this here?
Your first flashbang grenade.
Oh, good boy.
I saved it for you.
Oh, good boy.
That is good luck. So if you ever do any war movies in the future, you've got to put that to your zipper.
Good man,
And I bring
thank
you
you.
good luck, mate.
Appreciate that.
All right.
You mind, there you go.
You take care as well.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
I'm back in my own manor, London's East End. For much of its history, it was the centre of the capital's criminal underworld. It's my home turf, but will it be my toughest job yet? This is not just a birthplace of the chirpy Cockney and jellied ills. As well as being my manor, it was the home to a certain Victor Dark, one of the East End's most feared armed robbers. Had it been a life of glamour, or would I find that his crimes have haunted his entire life? He believed in hitting them hard and hitting them fast, and he's got a rap sheet as long as my arm to prove it. From 1974 to 1988, he carried out hundreds of raids on security vans, banks, post offices, and even a packed nightclub. He wasn't the kind to plan big jobs like the Great Train Robbery, and he never scooped as much as the legendary Brinks Mat job. He was all about the smash and grab, organised chaos more than organised crime. But it led him to spend 21 years in the slammer.
We just pull up here with a car, say 4 of us will get out, no, 3 of us will get out, it'd be a geezer driver.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, we just walk straight across there, sledgehammer, the guns, walk straight into there when it's the most busiest time. Take down the screens, get behind the screens. We used to have big bags at the time, Dan, like we used to come across, they show big, they're like post office bags, great big bags. And when we got behind the tills, my mate would be the littlest one. He'd either get the door open and just chucking all the money in the bags.
Straight in, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it. So we didn't really give a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
We was in there for 5 minutes, just clearing out all the money. Then we'd just come straight out of here, get back in the cars and drive off.
In and out 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, that was it. If it was big crowds, we'd use a double-barrel shotgun, which is like sort of snoring off, which is like looks the part. Or if it was like quick robberies like security vans, it'd be handguns. With shotguns, they was more frightening, really. So the bigger the crowds, like a big sorting office, it would be like a sawing-off shotgun. To get through the screens, we'd use hammers, big sledgehammers. Obviously, the guns I fired off was over people's heads, you know, so it wasn't at the people. I'd done martial arts for a long time. It's like when they kick, go, ah! You go, ugh! It's just like bang, you go, ugh! So it's just to make them jump, really. Not like obviously, once you fire a gun into someone, once again, you're going to kill them, aren't you?
Sometimes it only takes one night, one misjudgment, and you're facing a 15-year sentence.
The news from ITN.
In the early hours of this morning, he and his accomplice, both armed with handguns, raided a nightclub in Ilford and shot the owner, who's now in hospital after having surgery.
I got shot in the hand, I got shot in the groin, and I got shot through the arm.
The Penthouse nightclub, Ilford, September 1988. It's 3 a.m. Vic's brought an accomplice with him to help on the job.
I was bored. That's how it all starts. I'm bored. You know what I mean? I'm a bit trigger happy, a bit bored, taking on. It didn't really matter what I'd done. I could do security vans, banks, sorting offices. Didn't really matter to me. Up and down, it could be anything. Anything where there was money, it'd be there. I'll go and do it. That's what it was about.
He's bored, and there's 30 grand in this club. Vic and his accomplice get let in the back door by someone on the inside. They hide in a back room, waiting for a signal to move.
You sort of stand there, all getting ready, got the stuff on. So put the mask on, you're just waiting. All of a sudden, then it happens, doesn't it? You go, you here. That means give him 10 minutes to get out of the gaff, then I'm coming out.
He gives his accomplice what he thinks is a simple job.
All he's got to do is get the money and rip the phones out. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it goes, bang. What I've got to do now, the first thing I'll do, I've got to get everyone under control, meaning I've got to wrap them all, or get them all together, wrap them up, have the money, slip off. That's what we're supposed to happen. Nice and easy. Well, you know, what goes on next is unbelievable.
But his accomplice doesn't get the phones off, and the old bill are called. They surround the place. There's over 100 punters still in the club. Vic's got them lying on the floor, but the place is panicked.
Everyone's running everywhere. There, you imagine now, you've got 120 people running fucking everywhere, right? So I've got them all down in here.
It's at this point in the story where we see Vic turn. He takes the owner of the club and makes him kneel in the centre of the dance floor holding a gun to his head.
The paramount thought that I had is just how helpless I was. If they want to kill you, they want to kill you. I grabbed what might or might not have been the gun, and of course it was a gun, and it went off actually in my hand. I was holding the barrel, and when it came down, I got shot in the stomach as well. You don't feel anything when you get shot.
In the scuffle, the bullet passes through the club owner into the shoulder of Vic's accomplice.
My mate gets shot, the bullet goes through his arm, through here, out of his back, right? He's like blood spurting everywhere. It's like an heartbeat. It's going...
There were 2 injured men, but Vic was only concerned about his accomplice, not the club manager.
I lost a lot of blood and apparently caused a blood shortage in Essex and very nearly died.
David's condition was critical. I can't imagine what it must be like to be shot 3 times. Vic wasn't interested though. He still had a long night ahead.
I've got 2 options. Take my clothes off, put my natural clothes back on, walk out, no I'll get away. Or do I have to carry this, my mate, and get him away?
So Vic takes his accomplice and carries him out, leaving behind 100 stunned clubbers, the wounded owner, and all the cash. It's been a total disaster, but it's not over yet.
As I'm getting here, Dan, right, I'm carrying my mate now, got him like this, like that. So I've got this thing like that. As I'm carrying like that, as I go like that, a police car goes bang. Just pulls in front of me. I haven't got to the car. I can't get to the car. Police car there, police car there. I told the copper, I said, get out of the car. I didn't want the copper, I wanted the car. To put my mate in the car, I'd been critically injured, like, you know. So I just got my mate in the car. Then I looked, so I thought, oh, fuck it. I got the copper, he got back, we've got to put the copper back in the car. Then we're off.
Vic's invited me to a barbecue. Now, he's told me these are the real Essex boys, yeah? So, hanging out with hooligans is one thing, but these guys are serious. I don't want to end up in a country lane, you know what I mean? See what these boys have got to say.
Unlike Vic, most of this lot haven't been inside.
Pleasure to meet you, old son. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. I'm a friend of Vic's, mate.
How you doing?
How you doing, son? Yeah?
Pleasure to meet you. Good as gold. Thank you. Thank you.
I am as well, mate.
Good man. Good to meet you, mate. Pleasure. All right, mate? How are you? You all right?
This is Gavin. He was inside for manslaughter at Maidstone Prison.
Yeah, no, good as gold, mate.
Do you want a beer?
Good. I've got a beer there, sunshine. Thank you very much. No, good as gold. I know it's a bit mad walking in with my camera on me.
No, don't be silly. We're bothered about all that. We've got cameras on fucking 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm telling you about that.
Been one of my best mates. Been one of my mates like since we was kids. And one of the most staunchest, nicest fellas in the world you're ever going to meet. I actually met him in Maidstone Prison when he was serving 7 years for manslaughter.
Okay.
And like I say, and then we come out and we become good friends, and ever since he's been one of my best mates in the world.
And he's always been there for me.
Yeah.
And he's been a father figure, but he's always been an older brother, best friend. He always has been, and he's never wanted nothing off me.
No.
Always give me. True.
Yeah, it's good. I love him, mate.
I love you as well.
He's a bloody top guy.
I can't buy him a drink.
It's like being in an episode of The Sopranos. They all seem to love Vic, but then they've never been at the wrong end of him or his gun.
Well, he's just one in a million, mate. Yeah.
This is Glenn. He runs his own steel supply business.
Funny, really, since been seen out with him, everyone pays me on time. It's quite handy, really, yeah. All of a sudden, all these knockers are paying me on time. Great. So I just make a phone call and the checks are in the post. But no, it's good, really, because when I first met Vic, the business was probably doing, I don't know, 7-8 million a year turnover. It's up to about 20 million now. And you don't do that sort of turnout without people like his name behind you.
Yeah.
So although I ain't got no involvement in the business, where we've grown close, if anyone ever tries to like knock me, he's just mention his name is enough. He don't even have to get on the phone.
So while they all love him, there ain't no doubt about his stature. Time for me to make me exit.
So, babe.
So Vic had no choice. It was his poverty that had led him to a life of crime. So his brother must be a criminal as well then. But it turns out nothing could be further from the truth. Vic's younger brother Tony is a multi-millionaire. He had the same upbringing, but made different choices, making his fortune out of packaging, not robbery.
You was chasing money at an early age, I think. And I think that was your route, you know, you was working all weekends, weren't you, on the railways, grafting your nuts off, earning 50, 60 quid a weekend, and every weekend you just doing the same thing. I think enough was enough, and you said, this is it, I want to earn easy money.
I'm glad, really, that my brother took the route he did, because, like I say, it's made the family proud.
But we have made us, as I said...
We all took different routes, and he has made us, he's a brilliant businessman, and he's put the family on the map, really.
What I wanted to know was why Vic hadn't made the same decisions as his younger brother.
Why do you think you took a different path to your brother then?
Some brothers, you can't say all brothers are the same. No. They're totally different. You've got two different brothers, and he, like you said, he's always been good. He's been not one of them natural people who's like, I'll cheat him at cards and still win. He's just one of them people. Oh, whatever I did, whatever he's done, he's turned to gold.
When you look back over the robberies you've done, I mean, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel about that? I mean,
I feel a bit guilty for all the people I've caused mayhem to, really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel I'd like to apologise while I'm on the programme, sort of all the upset I caused a lot of people, but I've done my time, and I'm not proud of it.
I'd met a man who'd run around London with a shotgun and a sledgehammer, stacking his winnings in his wardrobe and living it up. But a man who'd lost 21 years shut up in jail, who was still haunted by the shadows of his past and felt people were still out to get him. I'd found a man whose crimes hadn't paid.
I dreamed of being a family man over the last 21 years locked up, so I got what I want, and believe it or not, that's what keeps me on the straight and narrow, my family. I've got too much to lose now. The game's over. I've retired.
At one time, Sam McCrory was Britain's most wanted man.
I'm a good friend, I'm a bad fucking enemy.
This notorious ex-terrorist from Northern Ireland now lives in exile.
I want to find out what happens to a terrorist when they've lost the cause they're fighting for.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but it had to be done. I was dedicated to it.
They say one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. I'm going to find out for myself.
This is my local town. It's a fucking brilliant wee town.
Oh, you like this town, yeah?
Oh, brilliant, mate. People are really, really nice folk. And we're just heading up to my wee flat. I've been on it 7 years. I've only got one bit of hassle. So there's two guys trying to kill me, trying to shoot me dead outside my flat one night.
OK. That's all you fucking need, don't it?
It's a Mark 5. I'll stop an AK-47.
A Mark 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So that stop a bullet?
Yeah. Fucking hope so, it'll work.
I was going to say, don't really want to find out,
Just put
really,
it up over your head, yeah. There you go.
One of them ones, yeah? So you just whack that underneath your top, yeah?
Yeah, that's all.
God, I won't feel very confident in that if someone's going to take a shot on me.
That's it.
It's still going to prop her out, though, isn't it? You're going to go over, aren't you?
Well, if really made fucking clever, they'll shoot you in the head.
Yeah, mate. A mad thing to have in your house, though, isn't it?
So that's just a way of life.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like that. I haven't worn. I only wore it when I went to Belfast. My dad was in hospital. I come up on this Shagger Road, and my mates went out here, put that on, because it was the longest feed on. And I put it on, put my jacket up over it, and that was it. And then they just said, take it back with you, and it's fucking lying there. It's not illegal.
Yeah, of course.
It's fucking illegal about it.
Yeah, of course.
But Sam lived a double life. Not only did he have to fight to protect his country, he had to fight to hide his sexuality. Being gay at the time in Belfast wasn't accepted, and being a terrorist made it even worse.
So you're openly gay, yeah?
You are.
Yeah. And what was that like in the UDA? I mean,
well, that was like a double life, because I found it very hard. Because see over there, because of the political situation, the sectarian situation, gays, they weren't needed. It was like, here's another problem. You know what I mean? There's enough fucking political problems. Who are these people? I think some of my close friends knew. You know what I mean? But it was very hard to keep inside yourself.
It must have been really tough.
You know what I mean? It was dead secretive. And plus, I had to watch where I was going.
Of course.
Because of who I was and where I was attached to. But obviously, because your tattoos and all. You know what I mean?
The danger is real, but Sam wants to show me what he fought and nearly died for. To understand his new life today in exile, I've got to go to Belfast to see it with my own eyes. As Sam gets closer to Paul, he's more worried about being stopped by the police. Even though he's doing nothing wrong, he could still be detained for hours under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. And just when he thinks he's made it on board safely, disaster strikes.
Whoa! Don't film it, don't. I'll take it off you, take your camera off you.
Sam's been recognised by a policeman and stopped.
Have you any identification with you at all?
Yeah.
Just handy. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much. Thought I recognised the jug, that was all. It's been a while, Sammy.
It has, it's been a while.
Thought I recognised the face.
I know, I noticed you selling there,
I just wanted to satisfy my curiosity.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Thanks a lot.
How long are you over filming?
Just a day. Just a day. Coming back tomorrow.
With any hassle?
Nah. Just going to do my documentary and that's it. back home.
No problem. Right, we'll let you get on, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, sir. See ya.
Thank you.
You noticed my face, and I'm wearing sunglasses. You look at that photo, that was me 10 years ago. Look at me now. A father, shaved head now, I have a tattoo on my face there. Well, no tattoos, but he still need me. Strange, isn't it?
I'm hearing firsthand that the potential death threat is not exaggerated.
So do you think that the likes of Skelly would be welcome back here?
No.
Never?
Never. Not all of what's happened. You know, definitely not. Them boys will just have to stay away. And anyone who left Belfast to go with Johnny Adair and all, they've made a decision. And they'll not be welcome back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was a young lad who went along with him, and he was told he was safe to come back, and he came back and they killed him. So that's a message to the rest of them.
Yes.
You know what'll happen.
Fucking hell. I know he's a bit paranoid about coming back here, obviously, for obvious reasons now. Whether I'll be a target because I'm with him, I don't know. I don't know.
To keep the two religious communities separated and prevent sectarian murders, huge concrete walls were built, known as peace lines. Some are 40 feet high and over 3 miles long.
Really understand how much hatred there is when you have to build a wall to separate human beings at the end of the day. You know, it's pretty drastic measures. And it's only when you see it and how high it is when it really hits home, you know? Sad state of affairs.
Sam decides it's safe to visit his old stomping ground. This estate was the power base for C Company, the most feared paramilitary unit the Troubles had ever witnessed.
Different memories coming here. I actually don't even give it much thought anymore. But this was my old stomping ground, this place here. This was the heart and the base of 2nd Battalion C Company. But sadly it is no more. Used to be our office, now a house, but it used to be our office. This is where everything took place. Organised street demonstrations, military operations. This was it all here.
Before returning to Scotland, Sam has one last thing to do. He wants to pay tribute to his fallen comrades and friends who were killed during the Troubles.
There's an awful lot of loyalist paramilitaries buried here. This is like their graveyard.
Almost 4,000 people lost their lives in Northern Ireland during 25 years of political violence.
I always find it quite, it's quite a moment coming to a cemetery anyway, you know, so it's always a bit, whole mood changes, it all gets a bit tense, but, I mean, he's a tough guy, you know, but you can't help but think, you know, get a sense that he's, you know, it must be a moment for him to come over here, you know, he's sort of, I've left him to it, really. He's just wandering about looking for Top Gun's grave now. It's obviously a very emotional thing for him, you know. I don't want to question him too much, you know. Just let him get on with it.
It's been a sobering journey for me. I understand now that Sam was a foot soldier in a political struggle that had spiralled out of control. Death was commonplace, and lots of innocent people were caught up in the violence. When peace eventually broke out in Northern Ireland, Sam couldn't share in it and was forced into permanent exile in Scotland, where the next chapter of his life awaited as an openly gay man. Today in Scotland, Sam is determined to make the most of his freedom and live life to the full.
Sit down, you fucking behave. Yo! Got it, Link! Sit down, Link! Come here, you slippery fuck. Foxy is for all amateurs. Two? Don't want blood in my hands. It's a good lad, and 21 in my cut. So I'm well pleased.
After years of having to hide the fact he's gay, he's openly embracing his sexuality and wants the world to see a new side to him.
Joe! How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Joe.
Enjoying this
All right, how are you?
How's things?
All right, fantastic. The only person I know that's gay in Ayrshire is me and him, as far as I know.
We go out for a drink and all, like, we're good buddies now. Just comes with your reputation, we have to look good. He's an icon, I'm an icon.
I'm a hit figure.
I'm a gay icon, so
There are no winners and losers in Northern Ireland's history. In the battle for hearts and minds, thousands of people lost their lives. Some will never forgive Sam for his actions, nor will they forget. But he wants the world to see he's a changed man. His past will never go away, but Sam has an opportunity to make amends for the future. The final chapter in Sam McCrory's life has not yet been written. I'm in the Midlands on my way to meet a vicious cage fighter. His name is Barrington Patterson, also known as Baz.
Weighing in at 110 kilograms. He is from Coventry. Let's hear it for Barrington Patterson!
Cage fighting is a no-holds-barred mix of martial arts. It's brutal, bloody, and a very big business, with more than 300 million fans around the globe. Black belts and fancy moves are no match for the sheer ferocity of this new breed of fighters. Barrington has fought from Russia to Rio and from Hawaii to Holland. But for him, it's not about the belts, the money, or the fame. It's all about the fight. But the time has now come to give it all up, and Barrington is in training for the biggest fight of his career, his last. But he's got a hunger for winning, so he'll treat it as if it's his first. Barrington has brought me to one of the gyms he trains at to show me his moves.
Well, me and Baz are going to have a right tear up now. No, it's been on the cards for a couple of years. You know, I'm popping my pants, to be honest with you. Nice.
Today's lesson is in grappling, aka ground and pound. It's where you get your opponent to the ground and pound the life out of them.
You get on your fours like this.
So you're going to show me a bit of grappling?
Yeah.
So I go like that.
So you're grappling like.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. You just working each other like this.
What you're trying to do is get him in the mad around the neck, innit?
I'm trying to get the
that size of it.
You there?
Fucking right on the calf, that is. Fuck, man.
Cool.
Oh.
Look at this centre there.
So
the guy's on him, like.
Yeah, I've seen this
stuff. Yeah. The guy's flat, so he can't move then. Then you can bash him. And you come on there, right underneath his nose there.
Yeah.
Tapping that.
Fucking hell. So basically, that's. You want to,
basically,
I would say there, you ain't really got to work on it too much, really.
No, there is a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Especially, like, sorry, if you're standing up.
Yeah.
Well, you get everything that starts from standing up from there. Yeah. So you can either go there.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Then do I from there.
Today, he'll be going up against Mark Goddard. Mark is a true professional fighter, about to break into the UFC circuit. They're the same weight, but Mark is 10 years younger, so no doubt he'll give Barrington a good workout.
I'm just excited, really. There's a nice little bit of tension in the air, and I just want to see it go. You know? And if they both keep getting leery, I'll jump in the cage and I'll knock the pair of them out.
His girlfriend Lucy has come along to watch with her daughter Mia and Barrington's son, Kai. They're not fighting at full power because neither of them want to get hurt, but it's still an essential part of training for Barrington in the lead-up to his big fight. Grappling is one of Mark's specialities, so he's the perfect sparring partner for Barrington.
Go on, Baz.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more lively than what I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. You know, he's got his retirement fight coming up, so he couldn't, you know, he didn't want to go full throttle, but you just get a sense. Just imagine that man running towards you, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's powerful stuff, you know.
As his last fight approaches, Barrington has decided that he wants to give something back by using his skills to train up-and-coming fighters.
I do a lot of teaching. I help a lot in my kickboxing club, and I have a lot of one-to-one personal lessons myself. What I do, you know, like winning, and it's nice going to like our tournaments, whatever, karate tournaments, and helping the kids out, and it makes me feel a lot better. I feel nice and proud, knowing that I've helped that person to get that trophy to show his mum and dad, and it's nice to get another Barrington, another up-and-coming guy, doing the things that I used to do.
Barrington's come to see one of the fighters he's training, 20-year-old Danny Hudson. It's his first professional bout, and he's sounding confident.
Very glad Barrington could be here to watch it tonight. I'm planning to go out there and knock the guy out, you know, do what Barrington's taught me quite well.
It's been a high standard of fighting so far. And now, it's Danny's turn to take to the cage.
Get that jab going, Danny. Jab, Danny, jab, Danny. Jab. Jab, Danny.
It soon becomes clear that Danny's outclassed.
Danny. Come on, Danny.
Barrington don't look too impressed.
Where's Danny? Just over there. Oh, I've got to give him a piece of my fucking mind.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what. That was fucking pathetic. Pathetic. You threw a high kick to the fucking guy with so much force, the guy was nowhere near you. You spun yourself round. What happened to your fucking groundwork? That went out the fucking window.
Got to work on stand-up.
Your stand-up's gone out, gone out right out the fucking window, Danny. Right out the fucking window, man. That was shit. That's the worst I've ever fucking seen you, mate. As soon as the guy put you under pressure, you crumbled.
Most stereotypical hard men are all talk and no action. But this bloke definitely follows through with his threats. He won't let anything stand in the way of getting what he wants.
Rotterdam's Ahoy Arena is in for a battle. It's the location for this heavyweight tear-up. His opponent, legendary Dutch fighter Bob Schreiber, has come out of a 3.5-year retirement to take on Baz and is determined to make sure it's worth it.
I do everything to win. Everything. I never quit.
Both men prefer to end their fights with a knockout, so it's going to be brutal.
I've wanted this fight from day one, but at least I finally got what I wanted now, and that's it. Yeah. All I want to do now is just go on with that belt, and that's it, man.
And there's
my life story's completed.
The contest will be fought over 2 5-minute rounds, with the winner crowned King of the Ring. With the tension mounting, Baz enters the arena for his final battle. waiting's over and the fight's on. 6 months of training is about to be put to the test. It's not long before Baz's violent streak kicks into play. This is looking like a mismatch. But Bob's saved by the bell.
Come on, listen, you can take him. You could have won in that round, but don't worry. He's tired, Barrington. Barrington, he's tired.
Baz starts the second round as he ended the first, on top. But Bob fights back, landing some heavy blows. It looks like Baz may have blown his chance. This is a proper tear-up. It's every man for himself, and it's turning into a street fight, just how Baz likes it. Battered, bruised and bleeding, they both make it to the final bell. It's going to come down to a points decision, and it's on Bob's home turf. I'm not sure Baz has done enough. The relief's too much for him. All his hard work's been worth it. The story seems complete for Barrington. He's gone out a winner, and for now, at least, he seems satisfied with his lot.
That's it for me, man. End of.
I've spent time with some dodgy geezers so far, but now I'm waiting to meet a man who's risked his life to keep villains like them banged up.
In his 10 years as an undercover policeman, this bloke was responsible for taking down dozens of villains and helped stop millions of pounds worth of drugs hitting the streets of London.
Undercover work is exciting, it's scary, it's intoxicating.
He was one of Scotland Yard's finest, and he went deeper undercover than any other detective before him.
He's in danger. Move him, move his family, move them quickly.
With each job he took and each role he played, he risked not only his life, but his sanity.
The price that you pay for a bad performance could be your life.
But how long can you spend living a double life before it takes control of you? Throughout his undercover career, he took on many different disguises to help him get into character.
I always had quite a wide and varied wardrobe just to suit whatever role I was playing. I've kind of kept this leather jacket for sentimental reasons. I've had this many, many years, and I wore that on many a drugs buy or when I was pretending to be a contract killer.
His physical appearance also kept changing to suit each role he took on.
You have to maintain being that person. And if you're being particularly unpleasant, and I'm sorry about this, pal, but I've got to stick you up against the wall and give you a rub down now, because you could be undercover old Bill, you might be a Mickey Mouse kind of donut with a 9mm on you. You know, I've got to do that, pal. Get up against the wall, right? You'd have to do that. You know, and I wouldn't treat people in normal life like that, but, you know, I'm out there buying millions of pounds worth of drugs, you know what I mean? I'm not playing a game, you know, when your life depends on it, other people's lives might depend on your performance, then you have to be thoroughly, utterly, totally convincing.
Peter graduated top of his class at Hendon College and was posted to Peckham Police Station.
South East London, social deprivation, a lot of racism going on. There was a large Afro-Caribbean community in Peckham. And, you know, the cops, the people I was working with, were basically just rampant racists.
I wanted to find out a bit more about Peter's early life as a copper. So I've come to a place that was instrumental in shaping his career, the streets of Brixton. In April 1981, Brixton was an area that had deep social and economic problems, high unemployment, high crime and poor housing.
The police focused disproportionately on young black men. And in Brixton, the police launched Operation Swamp. And basically what they did was got every policeman they could muster onto the streets of Brixton with the instructions to stop and search young black men. Now this caused a huge amount of resentment because young black guys couldn't walk the streets without being stopped, searched, harassed, and quite often fitted up for crimes that they hadn't committed.
And today, nearly 30 years on, Peter wants to set the record straight. Rioter Alex Wheatle went on the straight and narrow after the riots and is now a successful author. His award-winning novel, East of Acre Lane, was inspired by the Brixton riots.
I remember throwing all kinds of missiles along with whoever was around me at the time, and you guys having to go into people's front porches and gardens to try and get dustbin lids to protect yourselves. I saw the police running away, the helmets falling off and all that kind of thing.
At times, during that weekend, I was scared, very scared. Our training was wholly inadequate, the equipment was wholly inadequate. You know, we had flimsy helmets, you know, that didn't offer a lot of protection, and I was scared. How were you feeling?
Exhilarated.
Right.
Exhilarated to actually see the police retreat. I mean, we've never seen that.
Right.
It's taking a step backwards. I mean, we cheered every step that you retreated. It was incredible to see that.
Life as a detective for Blex wasn't all about getting stabbed and having shotguns pulled on him. He also spent time interviewing victims, setting up wiretaps, and my personal favourite, surveillance.
Tell me a little bit about surveillance, Pete. Obviously, that was a very important part of your job, you know, so, I mean, just tell me a little bit about how that would work.
Yeah, well, in the police, surveillance was very important because surveillance teams would watch me when I was working undercover. They'd be there to cover my back.
And how do you manage to sort of blend into any environment?
It's about everything you do, how you speak, you know, how you act. And you've got to be able to you've got to be very flexible, you've got to be adaptable, you've got to be resourceful, you know, you've got to think on your feet.
Blex was very skilled at making himself invisible, a powerful weapon in this game. To give me an idea of how surveillance works, we're going to follow a member of our crew.
Here we go, there she is. She's into the vehicle. And the vehicle's off, down Rowton Road. So all units hold back, and she's done a right. I have eyeball. Hold back all units.
Is this the right distance, is it? I mean, obviously, it's quite close, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, unfortunately here, I'm a little bit exposed because I haven't got any other traffic for cover.
How many sort of motors would you have then? I mean, what, 3 motors? Would that be enough to swap over, you know, would that be enough to not give the game away, would it?
We used to have teams of anything up to 17 of us.
Yep. Okay. So 17, God.
Yeah, so you know.
That's a proper bit of surveillance out, isn't it?
I think I'm starting to get an idea of this business now. Peter wants to give me a unique insight into what it's like to be an undercover copper. You know, like the pressure of a real deal going down. So I'm going to be playing the role what he would usually play. So he's going to be the dealer, I'm going to be the undercover copper. I've got to get a bit of gear from him, basically. This is my game. I'm quite confident with myself. I should be able to pull this off. Let's crack on. I'm going to change my clobber, go in as a hoodie, I think. Bit of subtext. What's my subtext? What's my motivation? I've got a bit of nervous energy about me. Don't know whether it's because for the first time on this fucking show I'm doing a bit of acting, which is me bread and butter. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to come unstuck. But, you know, he's been a bit quiet around me, Pete. I've spent a bit of time with him, but all of a sudden he don't want to talk to me. I think he's getting a bit method around me. But let's have a method up. We'll go method against method. I'm up for all that, mate. Let's bring it on. It's not like Blex went to drama school or anything. Everything he knows he learned from the streets. As part of his training on Scotland Yard's elite undercover unit, Blex would often have to take part in role plays designed to push officers to their limits.
You know, it'd be interesting to see how Danny reacts to the little bits of different pressure that I put him under.
So here's the deal. I'll be playing the role of an undercover cop who wants to buy some gear. Blex will be playing a drug dealer who might be able to sort me out. We've been put in touch by a mutual acquaintance called Mick. Hey?
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. It was,
No, you're all right, it's sweet. It's sweet as.
Yeah.
No problem.
How you doing?
Yeah, good as gold, yeah.
Lovely. How long you known Mick?
Oh, fuck, mate. I've known Mick for fucking ages, to be honest with you. A long time.
Days, weeks, months, years?
Years, yeah. You know, I don't know fucking bollocks, I don't know aggravation. I just want to fucking get it done. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone's happy. Sweet as we go our separate ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not quite as easy as that, is it? I've got to learn to trust you. You could be anybody. You know, I knew Mick from years ago when I was at primary school.
Fair enough.
I didn't see him
No,
for a few
listen,
years.
listen.
All of a sudden, he lumps up and tells me there's some geezer, cake with money, wants to do a bit of graft with me. I don't know you from fucking Adam.
Fire away. Ask me whatever the fuck you want, mate. Whatever the fuck you want.
Take your clothes off.
Get my arsehole out, yeah?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I fucking take my clothes off, mate?
Because you could be old Bill and you could be wearing a wire.
Fucking hell. You want me to fucking strip off, do you? Well, I'll tell you what, bollocks, I ain't fucking stripping off for you, mate. Not in a million fucking years. You must think I'm some sort of...
Really? I think you're some sort of undercover old Bill. That's what I think.
Yeah?
Because if you won't take your kit off when there's nobody else here, so that I at least can have the peace of mind that you're not wearing a wire and you're not dirty, filthy, stinking undercover old Bill who have been put into me before, then I'm out the door.
Listen, this is the bollocks I don't want. I don't want all this fucking bollocks. I understand what you're saying, but for fuck's sake, you want me to stand there, start bollock fucking naked?
It's a simple thing.
Okay, right, okay.
Small thing.
Small thing to you, yeah? Fucking big thing to me, but I'll tell you fucking something now, right? I fucking will strip off, all right? I'll get me fucking bollocks out. Is that what you want to fucking see? Yeah? Is that what you fucking want? I'll fucking do it, yeah, boom. What do you want? Fuck me, yeah, look, boom. What more do you want from me, mate? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Fuck me. I don't need this bollocks, to be honest with you.
And your top, please.
And me top, yeah? Yeah, look.
Thank you. Turn round. Right.
Sweet now, yeah?
Yeah.
See me bollocks, everything's in order.
I have got some brown. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the capability to handle what I've got?
Of course I have, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here, mate.
What sort of size parcel are you looking at?
Well, I'll be looking at least a few key.
Well, how about if we start with a half?
Ideally, I want a bit more than that, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walk before we run.
I think we ought to have another meet, okay? And perhaps get off on a better footing than what we did.
Yeah. Pete?
Yeah.
Sweet as.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Look after yourself.
You want to go, sunshine?
Yeah. And
see you
you.
later. I'll be in touch, all right?
See you later.
Ta-da.
Bye.
He's definitely gone up in my estimations about what he does, you know what I mean? I do understand that his job, man, is fucking, that's another level, mate. Peter and I have got a lot more in common than I thought. I guess in a way, being an undercover cop is a bit like being an actor. If I mess me line up, I'll get another crack at it. He messes his line up, he gets shot in the fucking head. And that finds a light about me, you know? The threat on Peter's life is still very real, and as our time together draws to an end, I find out why he wanted to make this film.
You know, I was responsible for putting a lot of people away for a lot of time, but, you know, my betrayal of anybody was professional. And if anybody wanted to put themselves to the trouble of coming after me now, you know, they'd be very foolish, because all they'd be doing is getting themselves another big prison sentence wrapped around them, you know. And I decided that it was more important to tell my story than to worry about fear of retribution.
It's been a long, difficult path to recovery for Peter, and now, above all else, he dedicates his time to his family.
I've searched for a long time to find out exactly who I really want to be, or who I am, and now I know. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I'm a colleague.
The last role Peter will play is himself.
Welcome to the East End, London town, home to pearly kings and queens and the beautiful art of boxing. I'm here to meet one of the most brutal fighters to have been born within the sound of the Bow Bells. Oh, fuck me. He's an old-school brawler who gained notoriety for nutting Aubrey Harrison, the Olympic gold medal winner.
I don't care who you are, whether I hit you going over.
And he managed to fight off 3 geezers with an axe in his head. In his spare time, he was a renowned East End enforcer, sent to persuade people to pay up.
I bought to over like 250 grand in a plastic bag once, you know, in a black bin liner.
But his criminal career ultimately ruined his chances of becoming a boxing great, and his life spiralled out of control. I'm entering a world of ultra-violence to meet the notorious Dominic Negus.
So this is Dominic's gym. Looks like something out of Snatch, I'll be straight with you. And now I've heard he's one of the top boys. He's one of the guys, the top boys of Ring, if they wanted a bit of muscle. He's now a boxer, got a little gym. This is his manor. It's on my manor, actually. Let's go and have a pipe. So naughty dig. Good to meet you, son. Good to meet you. How are you? All right?
Fuck time.
Fuck, mate, that's a powerful dig you got there. What you got planned for me today, then, son?
Well, don't we have a little bit of a tour around. There's an old pub we used to hang about. I mean, obviously, I don't go out no more, you know what I mean? It's not so much for my health, but for other people's health, I don't. To be honest, I used to turn up on the old, when I used to have a booze. But yeah, there's a little pub we used to hang about. We'll go down there. Perhaps a few of the boys will be down there.
OK.
I started doing a bit of door work when I was 19, and where I got bullied, I'd never become a bully in the end. I was knocking out people every other day. I'd have a stand up with anybody, you know. I wouldn't give a fuck if you're Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, mate. If I punch you in the chin, you're going for a kip. You know, you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
After years of being bullied, he was finally getting the respect he craved.
I loved the reputation. It was like the fact you go to nightclubs, never had to pay for nothing, all of a sudden everyone's you know, especially like you go to Marbella, all the boys will be out there, come on, go, really like you. They just think, well, keep him out, because if he gets on the booze, he'll turn and end up throwing us over the balcony. You know, but to be honest with you, Dan, I just so wanted, well, I suffered from being a kid, like the fat kid that got bullied. I so wanted the reputation, if you know what I mean. I was so striving to be a part of something that I did the most stupidest things just to get a rep. And to be honest, it took me, you know, I'm 38 now, it took me 30 odd years to get a reputation. It's going to take me another 40 years to lose it.
I wanted to find out what it took to become a gangland enforcer, so I agreed to meet some of his old crew down at his local.
Oh, here we go. Hey, get on this mob here. How are you?
This is Jim.
Good to meet you.
This is John. Danny.
Good to meet you, John. Oh, okay. That's a proper little mob, that one. Let's get in on. Boss, think we'll have a little game of pool or something. Yeah, I'll ask him a few questions. Yeah, we'll keep it nice and sweet. Oh, what's it, Nick? I'll whack the Nick in. I've
got the keys to that. All expenses paid.
All right, boys, so one was Dom. Was he an important part of the team then, or what?
He was the main player, really. He's like, you know, we were like his soldiers, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the main man. But but only people who just had to pay whatever they owed, do you know what I mean? They got rough, we got rough with it.
How much was, violence, part of the job?
Mainly we go around and just like be civil with you and say you owe this debt, you got to pay it, and that was it. If you didn't pay it and you got salsa, you got a right hander. End of the matter, isn't it?
It's funny, your right hand is bloody hell. Must let my mum whack you.
I find it hard to believe, to be fair. Yeah. So tell me a little about the first debt you collected.
I do remember one of the jobs, one of the first ones, it got a bit messy, because I didn't really know how to play the part, if you know what I mean. It was, as far as I'm concerned, we knocked on the door, and all I did, as soon as you knocked on the door, I whacked the geezer. And then my mate straight away, but give me his due, he paid the money straight away. My mate was doing his nut, he was going, fucking hell, Dom's a bit strong.
So as soon as that door was open...
I just cracked him, boom, right hander, and that was it. And to be honest, hopefully you see earlier, I ain't got a bad right hand on me, you know what I mean, so...
No, I was going to say...
Dom and the crew kindly offered to show me what it was like to be on the wrong end of a debt collection. Being game, I offered myself up to play the role of the man who owed the cash. I was just hoping they wouldn't get carried away.
So, Dom and the boys, they're going to show me a bit how this debt collecting thing works. It's a bit of role play for a start, so it's just a bit of role play. Don't take it too seriously at home, all right? Now, I owe them 20 grand, we're saying. They're going to knock on my door, they're going to go through the motions.
We used to be so blinkered about things because that's what we did, you know what I mean? We were debt collectors, but also, we would say debt collectors, you know what we were? We were more negotiators, hard, iron fist negotiators.
I'm not sure this is how the Halifax would have dealt with it, all right? Sort these mugs out.
You Danny?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, mate, you all right? Mind if we come in?
Yeah, all right, no, come in, yeah, no problem, yeah.
Seen some horrible things I wouldn't even want to, I'm not going to talk about. And I used to get a kick out of it because I was bloody good at it, because I was so blinkered about things, I wouldn't give a toss, you know what I mean? People getting cut and things like that, and I wouldn't give a monkeys, you know what I mean? Because that's how it was, people getting their heads kicked in and, people getting knocked out, and it was just every day. It become every day, it's such an everyday occurrence, it was just the norm.
What's that? Hold up a minute, mate, hold up a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Joe sent us round.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not...
20 grand for the Merc.
The crew used to collect money on behalf of the crime bosses from people who couldn't go to the banks or the police.
All right, well...
Get ready and we're going
we come with you.
Whether it was for a car or a drug deal, as soon as the debt needed repaying, they were sent in.
Either give us the fucking money, or we can go the other route, you know what I mean?
Well, I've got it, but I've got to do a bit of running about to sort it out.
I was experiencing what it was like to feel the threat. And what I was hearing weren't pretty. I just wanted it to be over before I knocked them all spark out.
Sometimes how you do it, the thought of the violence is much more intimidating than actual violence. If I went bang and whacked you on the chin, it don't really hurt that much until you wake up. Then actually the thought of it, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's the mind game.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course I wasn't in any danger. But in the role play, they revealed a little of their techniques.
If you knock on the door, you know what motor they've got, because you've got a bit of info. So, sorry, mate, I'll just hit your motor outside. First thing he wants to do, get outside, see what you've done with his motor. As soon as he's outside, that's it.
For Dom and the crew, working as debt collectors meant that they were operating outside the law.
Who's allowed to hit anybody? Nobody.
No.
But it depends. But then listen, if you owe money for something dodgy, then how can you go to the old bill? You can't play both sides, can you? If it's, again, drugs were never my game, but I can't say I never collected money for. I've, done the odd thing, but at the end of the day, you just got to go and pick it up, and that's what it is. It's no man's land, ain't it?
But Dom's violent attitude started to piss a lot of people off, and they decided that he needed to be taken out. In April 2004, an incident in a cramped changing room in a 5-star gym in Harold Hill went on to change his life forever. Dom's returning for the first time since he was nearly killed to talk me through exactly what happened.
Oh, small in here, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it was a bit cramped that night, I've got to be honest with you.
After a heavy session on the pads, Dom returned to the changing room. What he didn't know was that 3 men armed with a baseball bat, a gun and an axe had entered the gym looking for him.
door kicked open, shouting, screaming, Dominic, ah! And I fucking turned around like that, and I'm basically standing where you are. There's a big lump there, and the geezer about my stamp, and a little fella. And the little fella's also pulled out his, pulled a gun out, it's gone like that, and the first thing I went like that, I thought, what are you going to do with that?
But with his back turned, the geezer with the axe planted it in the middle of his head.
Next minute, I'm on the floor, and I thought, fuck me, he's like the old slipped on the soap trick, you know, I mean, on my arse, I thought, fuck. And then I didn't realise what had gone on, and I thought it was fucking raining, but it weren't raining, it was blood pissing out my head. And as I looked up, the geezer's got like an axe thing. So he's obviously done me in the canister with the axe.
Dom was down with blood pouring out of his head and an axe man hovering over him. But all he could think about was his reputation.
I think, fucking hell, he's supposed to be naughty on your arse. As I went to get up, as I gone like, he's trying to do me again, and so it got stuck in my hand. I thought, shit, I'm in trouble here.
With the axe raining down on him, Dom began to fight back.
As he tried to do me again, I got hold of the axe, and the blade's there like that. I got hold of the big lump, and I'm like basically wrestling him against the wall, and like smashing his head against the wall. And the geezer started whacking me with a bat. I've taken the bat off of him. The funny thing was I couldn't hold the bat at first, and I didn't realise till afterwards when my hands were all fucked up.
Having taken care of the axe man and wrestled the bat away from the other attacker, Dom had turned the tide.
And then next minute they've all looked at me and we were fucking state. Next minute they've all basically bolted.
Having fought off 3 armed attackers, Dom was left with a fractured skull and over 60 stitches in his head, arm and hand. Dom wouldn't tell me who he thought the attackers were for fear of reprisals.
So, Dom, I mean, you think, right, you've been naughty in the past, you've upset a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But you can't obviously pinpoint it to a certain thing, but...
Well, listen, Dan, if I'm being honest with you, mate, I mean, you led that life, and if I'm being deadly honest, I deserved it, mate. I mean, the 3 fellas, I know you keep going, them 3 fellas I owe such a big debt to, because they just made me realise, A, what a fucking arsehole I've become, but B, that weren't a life for me.
So this was basically, it was this attack that made you start thinking about things and why you changed your life?
Near that day, I thought, nah, time to get out now. You know, I mean, I've just been very lucky. You know, it could have been a lot worse for me.
After the attack, he saw how his horrific injuries affected his wife, Nick.
The biggest life-changing thing for me, right, you know, that was a massive part, but seeing how scared Nick was. And do you know what? I take me off to the I own that girl so much more than she'll ever realise, and it does makes me want to cry now, because she never fucking moved, Dan, I promise you, mate. But to see how fine she was, and that's what I thought, this has got to stop. And then from that day, I thought, bang, that was it.
Dom had got out of the crime business for the right reasons, but I wondered if he hadn't been a gangland enforcer, whether his life would have turned out differently.
So, I mean, how far do you think you could have gone in boxing if you'd have stayed away from the other bit of work and you'd have just, you know, lived and breathed it every single day? As you know what the discipline is, I mean, how far do you feel you could have gone?
And I mean it. I mean, I really think I could have gone all the way in the pro ranks. I mean, I've only got myself to blame for that, but it's no good me looking back, because I've got a future to think of now.
So what does the future hold for you then, Dom?
You know, it's day at a time, really. You know, all I want to be able to do is, like, be able to earn a straight bit of money like I'm doing, have a mortgage and have an house and let the kids be proud of me.
I believe that he could have gone on to become a great in the boxing world if he hadn't got involved so heavily as a gangland enforcer. I was pleased he'd seen the light and was now living straight for his family. Hopefully, in the future, he won't slip back into a criminal career that very nearly cost him his life.
He's been a football hooligan, a boxer
with over 100 knockouts to his name,
and had his own security company which ran the door of over 200 clubs in Edinburgh.
At just 17, he was Britain's youngest criminal mastermind, a teenage godfather who ran the streets of the Scottish capital, the original baby-faced assassin.
I was always a frontliner. I'm a born leader.
I'm meeting Bradley Welsh, a man who, before he was barely out of his teens, was feared in the ring, on the terraces and on the streets. And whose young life of crime and violence ultimately led him to jail. But whether rich or poor, one thing in Edinburgh did bring everyone together. Well, half of Edinburgh anyway. Easter Road is home to one of the city's 2 football clubs, Hibernian FC. Bradley wasn't a football fan. Boxing was his passion. But when he was taken to see Hibs play, he was shocked by what he saw happening to his city.
Now, every time that you came to Easter Road, yeah, Rangers and Celtic predominantly, because they were the big force in Scotland, would go to every city in Scotland and he would piss all over the streets.
Take over.
And he would take over, mate. As a young boy coming down here at 12 years old, I was fearless. I was a boxer, I'd had about 200 fights, mate. And then coming here, I used to see Hibs supporters hide their scarves. And I can remember going on the train road or somebody and saying, well, you better hide your scarf. And to me, that was like, what? You know, because this is my city, this is the castle that I live with. This is, you know, this is where we're from. I was never brought up to hide anything.
Determined to play his part in defending his city from the invading hordes, Bradley and his friends formed their own infamous group, the Blackleys Baby Crew.
I'm a born leader. That's what I've always done. I've never listened to other people. I've always took things, maybe partly because of my confidence. So I started to form my own wee mob, and how I done that was I collated them together, got membership cards, and started to organise them along a battalion line, yeah? And there was literally a couple hundred boys at that time. But by no means was I like just the main guy. That was the beauty about this Hibs thing. There was 50, 60 main guys. That's what our strength was. We made Easter Road a fortress.
But when it was all kicking off back in the 80s, one person he most certainly didn't want to know about what was going on was his mum. Incredibly, he managed to keep his hooligan life a secret from her and his stepdad. Like any teenager, he got into trouble with them, but they had no idea what he was really up to.
Any, you know, hint of trouble or even, you know, school reports, whatever, or just acting up, he was kept in. He was stopped for going to his training, you know, and the usual things that parents would
kept him in the pub till 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
We kept him when we were both working.
So he couldn't go to the football.
But when England came to Scotland for an international match, Bradley snuck out and went to the game without his mum knowing. And what happened made him front page news.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
There's a picture, and it's got England at the bottom, Scotland at the top, and it's got a no man's land, and I'm standing in no man's land with a big stick, and there's a policeman grabbing me like this.
Scotland v England was a major battle, and he was a boy in a man's world who could more than hold his own.
At the age of 45, I was a great fighter. I was 8.5 stone. You know, 15-stone man's going to beat me. You know what I mean? But I could punch and I could knock people out. So I was always going to football and chinning people.
There's a few times I've seen big guys be like, who are you? And before you'd even got their hands out of the pocket, they were on the deck, you know? And he was a young boy at the time, you know?
He may have been at the centre of an international hooligan incident, but he still had to be home for his tea.
I got on the train at half-time, got back to Edinburgh, clearly the game's just finishing, and I've walked into my mum and stepdad's pub as if, oh, I've just been up to them, thinking I beat them. That morning, Sunday, it was they worked in they owned a pub, so I'd be in the pub till late at night, 12 o'clock. Sunday Mail papers came round, and on the papers, what's on the front page? Me standing on the front page, like that, hooligans and stuff like that. I had to cut the paper, yeah, take the photos of it, and leave the papers in the pub, so my mum wouldn't know.
So Bradley saw this as an opportunity to capitalise on his position and notoriety. He went into business with a company called Westland Security, who provided the muscle on the doors of some of Edinburgh's biggest clubs. But Westland wanted more contracts, and Bradley's role was to go and get them.
Edinburgh was known for, you know, its casual thing, and I just saw a wee opportunity with that there, yeah? You know, all these bar and club owners that were sort of, you know, hiring security to try and keep these supposed troublemakers out. So I went out there, and overnight, maybe got them 3/4 of the doors in Edinburgh.
Before long, the doors of most of Edinburgh's clubs were controlled by Bradley and Westland.
Because I was in the overdrive now. I was 17 years old, just turning 18, and I was going, I thought I was Don Corleone. I thought that this is it, I can do whatever I want. I was fearless, I was being predacious with people, overpowering people, and I was a kick, you know me?
Bradley hadn't just been running the doors, he also had a vested interest in the success of certain venues. He was putting on his own nights at some of the clubs and coining it in. He wanted his nights to do well and competing nights to foul, and he was in a position to make it happen. But being such a prominent figure in the city, It wasn't long before the old Bill started to take an interest in Bradley's clubland activities. They suspected Bradley had been using firearms to back up his threats. In response, they mounted a massive police operation to take down the teenage godfather.
With the police trying to put together 6-month surveillance, and my house was bugged, they were bugging my telephone calls.
The police were closing in on Scotland's youngest gangster, and another chapter in his whirlwind life was about to begin. Prison.
The police, in their infinite wisdom, and correctly so, decided to take me up and drop me right to prison.
Great fighters always get back up. Bradley was about to do the same.
We used to say, you're knocked down, you'll never be knocked out, you know, you'll come up again. Because you've got to, you know, stand up and...
just get on.
And so it was to be Bradley's first passion, boxing, that would get him back on his feet. All the time that he was involved in the club scene, Bradley had kept up his boxing, and he was not just any old contender. As Scottish Eastern District champ, he was on the verge of representing Britain at the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona.
He was actually on the Olympic select team, and instead of going there, he was locked up. Couldn't believe it.
When Bradley was released from prison, he went from strength to strength.
Some 12 weeks later, after being released, I fought in the semi-finals of the British and beat the last year's British champion. Then, some 2 weeks later, I was away to Italy to box against Italy, then away to Turkey to the championships, and away to Canada. So things were sort of a wee wild one.
Bradley was at the top of the amateur game and decided that now was the time to put his troubled past behind him, leave Edinburgh and become a pro. He travelled to Miami to meet legendary boxing trainer Angelo Dundee, the man behind some of the world's greatest boxers, including Muhammad Ali.
There was a Cuban guy at the same time as me in it, and he was in the ring shadow boxing. And the Cuban guy had literally just swam from Cuba to come to Miami. And there was a delegate from Miami there with him, the Cuban delegate there, and they brought him to the gym because he was an ex-Cuban boxer. And Angelo Dundee's sitting, and I'm wrapping my hands one day with my pal Kenny, and Angelo Dundee's sitting at the ringside watching the guy shadow boxing and doing a bit of bag work, and Angelo Dundee runs over and goes, yeah, this kid's got it. We can make a lot of money from him. And to me, that's what I've said about boxing. The people that run this game and perpetrate it, it's for money. Not the amateurs. Amateurs is great, but a professional game, it's about money. This guy's just fucking swam from Miami, and he's sitting going, we can make a lot of money for this kid. So anyway, I found a great Angelo Dundee. He didn't match up to be the man that I thought he would be anyway.
Although he's left his criminal career behind, it wasn't until she saw my programme about his hooligan past that she started to fully understand the extent of her son's colourful history.
I mean, I was totally amazed watching that and listening to Bradley. You know, where the hell were we when all this was?
We were working.
But believe me, they had it well, and he's, and he knows that.
Now it's Bradley's devotion to his family that has helped him leave his past behind.
So suffice it to say, yes, I'm a little mummy's boy, yeah? And I always will be, yeah? Always will be. I'm a family guy, that's what I'm about. It's for family. What else? All the money in the world, all the big cars, all the houses, all for what? You can't buy what's inside here or what you have with your people.
Disillusioned with the world of professional boxing, he opened a gym in a tough part of Edinburgh, offering the facilities and his knowledge to local kids on a strictly amateur basis. How did this gym come about then?
Well, just obviously having a boxing background myself, yeah, I had 30 years experience in boxing, and I just thought, the boxing gym, Universal has always been somewhere that people sort of, gather and congregate, and I've just seen my lifetime experience after coming through all that criminal stuff. If you train, yeah, you're in touch with yourself, yeah, it's physically, your mind focuses, yeah. I just think it's a great way to touch people. I've been here for 2 and a bit years now, and we do like 300 people through the door every week, yeah. So it's demanding. I mean, that's 300 people. It's like being a social worker, yeah. People come in, they've got their own problems, but I just believe that when you train, you get rid of that part. It's a great way. Physical activity is the best. Any sport, doesn't matter whether it's boxing, judo, karate, whatever. Any kind of physical activity is going to touch somebody.
Now, physical activity is not one of our strong points, but Bradley and the crew insisted. It was time for me to put the gloves on and have a little go myself.
Get that left foot forward, then I want you to look at that shot. No, so fist. Take your time, tell that left hand to come and hit that. It's in the middle, it's just a deltoid, it's an easy jab. One, fucking fantastic. Watch this, so boom and pull back. One, go, one, and again, one. You fucking Danny boy's done this before, mate. Double.
This was hardly what I spent my days off doing, and I was starting to wish I smoked a bit less.
Look at the spots. Go. Go, go, go. Not bad, but you never looked at the spot.
He's certainly a tough taskmaster. I can see that he still has a glint of a fighter in his eye, and now he channels that fighting spirit into helping others in his hometown.
Look, right, lift up. Look, right, too low, who fight? It's fucking, look, West Ham Millwall, look, fucking what's happening? Up here, mate. Look, up, look, back, boom. Look, bingo!
Needless to say, Ricky Hatton won't be having any sleepless nights.
I'm so unfit, mate. It's unbelievable. I need to get up here, mate, I tell you. You know what I mean?
I'd probably struggle against Ricky Martin.
People that are criminals and seek to gain financially. To buy what? Can you buy your family? Can you buy your friends? When you lose your money, you lose nothing. When you lose your health, you lose something. When you lose your character, you lose everything. And that's something that we've got in abundance.